Hello and welcome. The Idaho Pasture Pig Registry has developed a couple tutorials that are going to break down and explain how to fill out paperwork for the registry. Today's tutorial is going to be about registering your pigs and filling out the litter notifications. So please follow along as we walk you through step by step the process to fill out the litter notifications. Before we get started today, we're going to give you a very quick breakdown of how to read your registration paperwork. Now there's going to be another tutorial to actually go through and explain and break down the entire process all the way through, but for today and for all of the videos and tutorials that we're going to do in the next couple steps, the basic understanding of how to read and know what your pig's name and number are extremely important. So as we're looking at this, you can see that this is an official registration certificate of an Idaho pasture pig. And if we look over here to the left, you will see a WBF Rex B0064 written. This is the name of the registered name of the Idaho pasture pig that we're talking about. Now if you will follow along, you will see his registration unique number is B0064. His birthday was 9/17/2014. He is obviously a boar. He is black and white, and his AKA, or the name that we call him on our farm, is Tex. Now, when you are filling out the paperwork, it is very, very important that you please pay attention to the fact that you can call your pigs anything you want. But when filling out the paperwork, the registry and the software provided does not recognize the AKA or the called name of the pigs on your farm. So when you are filling out all of your paperwork, this name right here will be the full and complete registered name and unique number of the pig that we're talking about. This is the information that needs to be written onto the lines. When a pig is registered, the farm prefix of the place where the pig was born will become the very first section of the registered name. So in this case, this pig was born on White Bison Farm, or WBF. The name of the pig is Rex, and his unique number is B0064. This is his registered name, and like I said, this is the information that needs to go onto the forms so that I can get them completed correctly and get all the information back to you in a timely manner. Okay, now the next piece of paperwork that we are going to talk about will be the litter notifications. The litter notifications are actually free of charge as long as they are filled out prior to February 1st of the year after the piglets are born. So for example, if your piglets were born in 2020, you have until February 1st of 2021 to fill out the paperwork and get it into the registry office in order to get it free of charge. After that, it will be a $10 fee to get the litter notification completed. Now, when we're looking at the litter notification, on this is a couple simple things. First of all, the owner name. Now, if you can please fill this out, not only by putting your farm name if you so choose, but for sure putting your actual name. So if you run everything under, and I'm going to use ours again as an example, under White Bison Farm, I'm still going to fill this out with either myself or my husband's name, simply so that it goes under the exact name that is registered for each farm. Now, when we're looking at the address, again, this is the address that we are going to have on file for you, and it is also the address that we will be sending all of your paperwork to. So please, again, fill this out with the address that is going to be able to accept mail to you. Now, when we're looking at the next step, this is the registered name and registered number of the sow and the registered name and registered number of the boar. Many, many people will call their pigs anything they want, and that is absolutely perfectly fine. If you are looking at the paperwork, and I'm going to show you the boar that we used earlier, when we are looking at this piece of paper, if you will note, let me put it so you can see, on this form, you can see that this boar's registered name is WBF Rex B0064. That is his actual registered name and registered number. Now, if you look down below here, you can see an AKA. We actually call this pig Tex on our farm, but his registered name is WBF Rex, and his registered number is B0064. This is the information that needs to go on to this form. This is the information that the software program for the registry notices and recognizes. It does not recognize AKA names, so you can call your pigs anything you want, but please, when filling out the paperwork, use the actual registered name and number of the pigs. So for this example, we're going to use WBF Rex B0064. Now, the sow that we're going to use for our example is going to be WBF Jewel C0402. And again, you can see very clearly next to my thumb here, that is her registered name and her registered number. Again, down below you will see that we actually call her Tiara, but her registered name and registered number are WBF Jewel C0402. So that is the information that has to go on to this paperwork in those two lines. Now, the date of birth of the piglets, very simple. What day were the pigs born? If you will read through this next section, it gives you many, many options of the colors that are recognized by the breed as actual choices to be putting into when you're filling this out for color. And if we read through here, we can do a black and a white, we can do ginger and black, brown and white, cream, ginger. There is tricolored, and tricolored can be a ginger black and white, or it can be a ginger brown and white. Still goes in as a tricolored, or you can have a solid black. Those are the choices that you need to fill into this section when filling out the rest of this paper. Now again, if you follow through, for each of the piglets born, you are going to put the sex of the piglet, and it does not matter if you write boy with a B or boar with a B. Either way, it's still a B. And again, when we're looking at this, if you write a G, that is still a girl and it's a gilt. It works out very, very perfectly. So you're going to fill this out whether it's a girl or a boy. You can fill out the wattle number. You can absolutely have to fill out the color because that absolutely needs to be filled out to go into the system. And then obviously if the pigs are alive or dead. So sometimes you'll have a stillborn and you'll put that onto here. And then obviously coming across, you can just write dead into that section. This is going to be the paperwork that is going to be used to fill out and get you an NR number for each of your piglets. Now, NR number stands for non-registered number. So this does not register your piglets. It merely assigns a number to each piglet. So when it is time to register, or if you are going to register piglets, you will have a very simple step back. You will look onto your form. You will find the pig that you are going to register. You will follow it across. And in this section here for registrar use only, when it is sent into the registrar, that is the area that I will fill in and write the NR number of the pigs for you. And then again at the bottom, you just sign and date. Now, I have filled out one so that we can look at it together. And if we're looking at it here, again, everything I said, this is a completely fictitious litter. This litter did not happen. We do not have a litter with these parents, but for simplicity's sake, this is what I did so that you guys could actually see it filled out. So again, the registered name and number of the sow that we talked about, the registered name and number of the boar that we talked about. Again, I just assigned a fictitious date of birth as January 1st, 2021. If you will look again, we, in this pretend litter, had 3 boys and 3 girls. I filled out for the wattles. I gave many different options for the colors so that you could see them written out. And in this circumstance, they are all written out as alive. So when you are filling this out, when you are done and it is ready to send in, this is how it is going to look. Now, if you would like to fill in tags, if you have your piglets tagged already, by all means, go ahead and put that on there. If you do not have your piglets tagged, or you're not going to tag your piglets, then by all means, please leave that section blank. That is absolutely for your use only. Now, like I said, when you get to this point, please fill out the address. I merely left it blank, and I guess I should have filled it in just to use it as an example. Please do not skip that. This is the address I'm going to send your litter notification back to, or I will actually email it many times just because it is very quick to email it back to people. So if I have an email on file for you, I will email your litter notifications back to you normally. Now, like I said, this is how it is going to look when it is ready to send in. Okay, now I have taken a few seconds and filled this out so that you guys can all see. When it comes into the registry, I will actually input all of this information into the system, and it will generate an NR number that is unique to each piglet ever put into the system. So in this circumstance, completely a fictitious litter, this is going to be the NR number, and you will see it as NRI-001. And then they continue down, NRI-002, all the way down through NRI-006. This is the paper, and this is how it will look when it comes back to you. Now, each year, this letter changes, so it will not always read NRI. In 2020, it read NRH. In 2021, NRI, and so on and so forth. Now, when you get this back, this is the NR number that you are going to use when filling out the registration paperwork that we are going to talk about next. Thank you for following along today. As always, we are gladly here to help you at any time. Feel free to call the phone number shown on the screen in front of you. Otherwise, all of the paperwork and instructions are found on our website at www.idahopasturepigregistry.com.